California. KCAA, where every day is a great day.
Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Marie Antoinette Wade, here at the International Wealth Builders Association. We are live on KCAA radio here on 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. We are also available on all streaming channels, including Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android. So check it out, International Wealth Builders Association radio talk show. We also have several radio hosts that are hosting this show. We have Jasmine Willow, we have Latoya Tillett, and Dr. Sharon Barnes. Today, I am hosting, and I have an amazing guest for all of you. And Patrick Capel, did I say that correctly, Patrick?
Yes.
Yes, and Patrick is an amazing real estate broker in San Diego. He is someone that I've known for years now, and he does an amazing job in providing economic information to the real estate industry. But before we dig into that information, I want to get to know Patrick first. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Maria. I really appreciate it.
Okay. I always have trouble, pronouncing your last name, but I'm glad that, you're here. And I know that you have a lot to share, but can you share us first your humble beginnings in the real estate industry?
Yeah, so I grew up in the Midwest in a small town, about 4,000 people, 60 people in my graduating class, and just didn't have a lot as a kid growing up, but I had a good life. I had a great life, good parents. They were both high school teachers. But I did know when I was getting out of high school, college just wasn't financially an option for me. So I joined the Navy, see the world, right, and get the GI
Wow.
Bill. So when I joined the Navy, one of my mentors right away said, Patrick, buy real estate at every duty station, in between every deployment, just buy real estate as often as possible. So I ended up out in San Diego, and the first thing I did was buy a little one bed, one bath condo. And then I went on a military deployment, came back, and I bought a second condo, did another military deployment, came back, bought a house, got promoted, and I bought a duplex. And what I kept on doing was buying property after property after property in between deployments with my savings or every time I got promoted. And as a young 20 something year old, another mentor told a big group of us that anyone can become a millionaire, anyone. And it's the first time I ever heard anyone say that, because I thought like you're born into a specific like class level or economic level, and that's where you stay for your whole life. But then I quickly realized by just combining advice from mentors that the one surest way to go up that economic ladder to hopefully eventually have financial freedom, the best way is through real estate ownership. And I started doing that. Everyone thought I was crazy. My friends said, Patrick, you are insane, because I was buying real estate in 2009, 2010, 2012 when the market was crashing. And now they look back and they're like, man, you were a genius. And I'm like, I wasn't a genius. I wasn't crazy. I just did what most people don't do, and that is take action. So I eventually transitioned off active duty. I'm in the Navy Reserves now, 22
Wow.
years. And my wife and I own quite a bit of real estate all
Okay.
throughout San Diego County. We got a good portfolio that just she and I own between houses, multifamilies, condos, and it has surely been the path to financial freedom for us.
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for your service, Patrick, for
Thank you.
serving the country. And, we always wanted to honor people that are, in the military. And so you're still with the military, right?
Yes, I just do the military and the reserves one
Okay.
week at a month. And about half a decade ago, I transitioned off active duty to build a career in real estate.
Okay.
So when I was in my 30s, I got to a point where I could retire. If I just wanted to hang it up, live on a beach, and drink pina coladas, I could have. But instead of doing that, in my 30s, I said, why don't I go get a real estate license and build a brokerage team that focuses on helping other people, what I call mom and pop investors, people like me and you, focus on helping other people buy real estate to build wealth to get to that financial security and financial freedom point of life. So for the last 4 years now, I've been running a real estate team in San Diego. We work with everything from first-time home buyers to seasoned investors. And even though I just started my team 4 years ago, that first year we sold about 17 million in real estate, and last year we sold 141 million. So
Wow.
we've really grown quickly in less than 5 years.
What a success, Patrick. I would like to also confirm that you did have a Master's of Science in USD. Am I right?
Yeah, so I've got two master's degrees.
Okay.
I did my undergraduate at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis. And then while transitioning out of the Navy, I went to UCLA to get an MBA with a focus in finance. So that was 2 years. And
Okay.
then right after that, back in San Diego, I went to University of San Diego to get a Master of Science in real estate.
Okay.
And about half of my team has graduate degrees. It's just a very educated team. Because I look at us, even though we work in real estate sales, we're not salespeople. We're educational people, and we educate our clients, educate consumers about the economy, about the real estate market, and about the long-term benefits of real estate ownership.
Okay. So with your master's in finance,
Mhm.
do you think that is a very critical information for people to really know when they're getting into real estate?
Critical. No. Nice to have? Yes. So when I started buying real estate, Marie, I didn't know anything. I just knew here's the most important thing you can do in life. It's not know quantum physics, it's not to know complex finance. The most important thing you can do in life is know who to trust and
Okay.
then take action based on their advice. And when I was in my 20s, I didn't have master's degrees in real estate, finance, or any of that stuff. I was just a kid in his 20s, but I knew who to trust. And I had these mentors who said buy real estate. So, quite honestly, between you and me, the first 3 or 4 properties I bought, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew that I was taking the advice of mentors I trusted. Now,
Okay.
as I started buying a few properties, I started learning and knowing what I was doing, but I really didn't understand it. Like you can know something and not understand it. You can know what you're doing, but not understand the complex stuff behind the math and everything. It wasn't until I went and got those graduate degrees that not everyone needs to get. But once I got those, I was like, oh, this is why you become a multimillionaire by owning real estate. Um, but before then, I just knew you could build wealth through real estate. I
Okay.
didn't understand the complex math, the compound interest, appreciation, depreciation, tax write-off, bonus depreciation. Didn't understand all that stuff until I went and got an education in it.
Okay.
Um, but it works. Like
So,
Marie, you know, if you get in your car this morning, you start the engine, it will go forward. Do you know how an engine works? I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, I do to some degree, but you don't have to know how. You just got to do it. You got to get in the car, you got to drive and move forward.
yes, I don't need to know all the engine parts. I can ride, I can drive
Yeah,
without
yeah.
knowing the parts. I see what you're saying. But I am so impressed with your knowledge in the economic forecasting because I've known you for years now, and you've always presented amazing information. And I really want to get more information on how you do this. But for our listeners, I think it's great that they get to know you, Patrick, because as far as what you just said, they need to know who to trust, right?
Mhm.
And they also need to know someone that has done it and has the educational background, which you do. You do have two degrees, and then you also have your own properties, and you've had some success in running your real estate brokerage. So I think it's amazing for people to get to know you and to be able to tap into your connection or to your service so they can get some good help in making decisions in real estate,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and I've learned at the end of the day, you just got to be a good person. If you're a good person, and that's like half the battle, and then the other half is you got to be driven. You know, if you're a good person, you can have a good life. But if you want to be a good person and be successful beyond just intangible happiness, but if you want to be successful and secure, you really got to be a driven human being.
Okay. Well, how
Um,
many real estate agents do you have in your brokerage right now?
12. So I got 12 in my team. Mhm.
Okay, and 12. And how do you bring these people? I mean, do they have to have certain qualities in order for them to be a part of your brokerage?
Well, the two things I look for the most is intelligence and drive. They've got to be intelligent, because I can't teach intelligence, and they've got to have drive, because you can't teach drive either. That's something that is really developed. I don't think you're born with it, but it takes decades, certainly years, to for one to develop a personality, and you just can't teach a personality that's developed. And everything else I can teach. So on my team of 12, 100% of the agents own investment real estate themselves. Over 50% of them, over half of them, have become millionaires through real estate, and they weren't when I met them. But I coach them, I teach them not just how to help people buy and sell real estate and brokerage, but I coach and teach them how to invest themselves, how to take advantage of the tax code, how to identify a good deal versus a bad deal, and then they all go out there and buy their own real estate as well.
Okay. Wow. So, do you work a lot with home buyers or do you also work with investors?
I'd say 50-50. Of the 140 some million that we sold last year, about 70 million of that was investors that were buying duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, or even an investor buying a single family home. And the other 70 million in sales was home buyers who wanted to buy or sell a single family home or a condo to live in.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a commercial break, Patrick. In the next segment, I want to talk about your economic forecast. But
Sure.
for you out there, this is the International Wealth Builders Association radio talk show. I am your host, Marie Antoinette Wake. Please don't go away. We're going to be right back with Patrick Capel.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Choose power today and help us create a cleaner planet. Over the past years, utility prices have rapidly increased. Power provides home energy solutions that would save money. Power is the world's first virtual solar company that aims to adopt sustainable energy worldwide. Our company delivers low-cost, clean, and reliable energy solutions. The solar investment allows you to become eligible for an income tax credit. The solar investment is a great way to provide long-term value. Power is the first solar company that reduces carbon footprint for a cleaner environment. Power is experienced and one of the fastest growing solar companies in the United States, which provide the best solutions according to your needs. Call today for your free solar consultation. Join us as one of our ambassadors and earn $1,000. Earn $1,000 when the installation is completed. Free sign up at www.power.com/marie.waite/ambassador. Feel good about what powers your life. Marie Waite, your solar consultant. 951-378-5316. Enjoy your life with solar.com.
Are you a real estate investor looking for a new opportunity in one of the top tourist destinations in the world? Look no further. Welcome to Punta Cana. Perla Bahia is a private resort-style community in Punta Cana that consists of modern condos, custom villas, and various commercial amenities. So if you're interested in learning more or joining us on one of our monthly investment tours, don't hesitate to contact me today at 909-494-2280.
Welcome back. This is Marie Antoinette Wade here at the International Wealth Builders Association radio talk show. And in our last segment, we had a great introduction of Patrick Capel, who is a real estate broker in San Diego. And he has actually a brokerage with 12 agents. And we were just talking about how he's able to get these people and what are the requirements for them to be a part of his brokerage. Patrick, so you've got this amazing group of agents, and they are also investors on their own. So they do have that kind of experience to be able to help other people to get into real estate, right?
That's right. That's right. And you asked what type of clients we work with, investors, home buyers. I always say we work with a client type that is investment minded, because you can be 25 years old, making 60 or 70,000 a year, and you're probably not going to go buy a multifamily apartment building. You likely would not qualify for that yet with that income. However, we'll teach that person how to house hack. Hey, maybe we can help them get into a 3-bedroom condo, rent out 2 of the bedrooms for $1,000 a piece. And then a year or two later, help teach them how to do a cash out refi and how you can use that as a down payment on your next property, which might be a duplex. So I always tell my agents, our job is not to sell real estate. And that sounds weird because it's what we do. We sell real estate. But I tell my agents, our job is to make our clients wealthy. And that could be a home buyer. That could be someone buying an apartment, but all of our clients are investment minded, and they hire us and they work with us because they want to build wealth through real estate, even in the home that they live in.
Wow. I am like wondering that most of your clients have probably, do you track their success in terms of the investments that they have made with you?
Yeah, in fact, we track that. We have made our clients just in equity gains, not even like cash flow, but just equity gains in the last 36 months. We've made our clients over $100 million in
Oh
equity
my
gains.
gosh,
And if
Patrick,
you
that's
buy, it's
amazing.
crazy. I know. If you buy right though, it's not like this house I'm sitting in right now. I'm in my house. I bought it for 695,000. It's worth about 2 million right now. So boom, that's 1.3 million made tax free, and you can tap into that equity, tap into that net worth. It's just really easy. I always say big money. Like we all work for money, right? But how does someone get like $1 million or millions of dollars? You're not going to work for that. You'd have to work a job for like 200 years to make a few million bucks. The way you make that big money is you create the money, and you create the money based on the decisions you make, not based on the work you do. And you just got to make the right decisions. That's why you got to be informed. You got to be knowledgeable about real estate, about finance, or work with someone who is.
Wow. So let me ask you, how do you feel about inflation? I mean, what is the main impact of that? Because people are like scared about it, and they think that, you know, things are going to go bad for the real estate. But what do you think, your perspective on that?
Yeah, so you know me, I've been making economic predictions and doing seminars on economics for 6 years now. And you've been listening to me that long. Everything I've said has come true. I said San Diego real estate prices are going to skyrocket. I've been saying that since 2016. They have. And I said it's because of the biotech. In 2020, in the summer of 2020, I have multiple recordings of me saying in the next 12 to 24 months, we're going to see more inflation than we've ever seen in our lifetime. I said that in 2020, and it wasn't until really late 2021, almost 18 months later, that the government started saying what I had been saying for a year and a half. And I've been saying the inflation was going to come because of the money supply. The supply of money, dollar bills out there, the supply of money is what determines how quickly things go up in value. And we've never had the money supply in the United States of America since history began go up as quickly as it did in 2020 and 2021. And it was because of the pandemic, not because of the pandemic, but the reaction to the pandemic was the government printing off so much money and giving it to society. That caused inflation. So the Federal Reserve needs to raise interest rates as they are doing to stem inflation and calm it down. However, what I think they're doing wrong with housing, a lot of people, you're right, they're freaking out because they're worried about housing. Mark my word, housing will not crash. Might it go down a little bit in the short term because of the short-term bumps we're seeing in interest rates and people's short-term fear? Yes, but with housing, we don't have an interest rate problem. We don't have a mortgage interest rate problem with housing. What we have is a supply problem. We just don't have enough supply. And because of that, with interest rates starting to go up in April, May, June, July, August, we start to see the supply go up a little bit. Supply always goes up when interest rates go up. But in the last 30 to 60 days, specifically in San Diego, we've seen supplies start to go down even as interest rates continue to go up. We've also seen prices in San Diego start to go up in the last 30 days, even with interest rates going up. That's weird. And that's because for the first time in human history, we've had mortgage interest rates more than double in less than 12 months. So because of the lack of supply, interest rates can keep going up, but you will see home prices hold, and they're even starting to go back up again now.
Wow.
What,
That is a great overview of what you're looking at here in San Diego. And I actually agree with you because I kind of know what's going on with the inventory. And I mean, it's all about demand and supplies, right?
Yeah.
So you got to weigh that regardless of what's going on with the inflation. So let me ask you this. I know you provide a very in-depth economic forecast. Now, I know a lot of people do that too. They come up with their own, forecast. But how do you differentiate your forecast in terms of making sure that we're not, that we're giving good information to people?
Look, so I see a lot of people in the industry giving their forecasts, and before believing anything anyone says, really about anything, but in this case, economics, I would look at their credentials. And if someone is a realtor and they've been in the real estate business for 10, 20, 30 years, but they don't have an academic background in finance and economics, I'd take it with a grain of salt. I know realtors who have been in the business for 3 decades, and they have always been wrong about their forecasts. And they've made their decisions, and they're pretty close to broke because of that, because they just didn't buy when they should have bought. I would look at someone's academic credentials to determine if I'm going to listen to them or not. So I get a lot of my information and my data from many of the academic institutions I went to, UCLA, USD. I also get it from raw data sources like the federal government, the Federal Reserve, San Diego Association of Governments, Association of Realtors here. And I get my data from other economists that have PhDs in economics. And I tune into their webinars, their podcasts. And then I take all this data and I pick out the parts that I think are important, because I can't take 10 hours of data and share it in a 60-minute webinar. So I get the highlights, and I do a webinar once a month. It's a 90-minute webinar, actually. And anyone can join it. It's open source. Just go to cappelrealty.com, Kappel, realty.com, and you can sign up for my webinars there and get the scoop on what's going on in real estate, specifically in Southern California.
Wow, that is awesome, Patrick. I love that you already shared that they can access your economic forecast, because I know I love your presentation. You've done a presentation at the SDCIA, which is the San Diego Creative Investors Association, and you've also done a presentation with the International Wealth Builders monthly meeting. And I can't wait to see more of your economic forecast. There's a lot of information that you provide. One thing that I also noticed in your economic forecast is you really get down to what was going on in the San Diego market in terms of the upcoming projects. I mean, those things are, I think, very valuable for people. And can you explain why it is important for them to know why, for this upcoming projects? Why do they need to know that?
Yeah, well, I always tell real estate buyers that when you buy real estate, your investment is not really going to be based. It's going to be based on that real estate property, but even more so, it's going to be based on the economy around that real estate property. Real estate has value because of the economy around that piece of real estate. That's why a house in North Dakota might cost you $300,000, and that same house in San Diego might cost you $2 million, because San Diego has a much larger and faster growing economy So you're going to have larger and faster growing real estate values, even on just our homes. So with all investors, I don't care where you're investing, know your economy and know if it's growing, is it stagnant, or is it shrinking? Now, San Diego has one of the fastest growing metropolitan economies in the world, and certainly in the United States. We have well over $10 billion in major projects happening, hundreds of billions when you add up all the small projects. But just to name a few, the IQHQ is the largest waterfront biotech real estate development happening right now in the United States, and that's right in downtown San Diego. That's about a $2 billion transaction. You've got a $4 billion impact happening in Hillcrest right now, with over $4 billion in brand new hospital and medical campuses being developed. You've got a $1.7 billion happening on the waterfront in Chula Vista, making a new convention center. And you've got the largest Amazon warehouse in California was just built in San Diego. You've got new military bases coming into San Diego, military growth in this area due to DoD spending going up quite a bit. So there's just tons. Apple, one of the most well-known tech brands in the world. And Apple is growing by 20,000 employees over the next 5 years. And they said over 25% of those will be stationed in San Diego. And that's San Diego. And this is Apple, not me. Apple said San Diego is going to become one of the engineering development hubs for Apple company.
Wow.
Okay. There's got a lot of growth happening here.
Yeah.
And I always
looks like there's a lot. Okay, we're going to take another commercial break, Patrick. I am excited with this information you're sending me, but we're going to take a break. And for you out there, don't go away. There's a lot more information with Patrick Capel here at the International Wealth Builders Association. I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Way, and stay with us.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Notes, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Choose power today and help us create a cleaner planet. Over the past years, utility prices have rapidly increased. Power provides home energy solutions that would save money. Power is the world's first virtual solar company that aims to adopt sustainable energy worldwide. Our company delivers low-cost, clean, and reliable energy solutions. The solar investment allows you to become eligible for an income tax credit. The solar investment is a great way to provide long-term value. Power is the first solar company that reduces carbon footprint for a cleaner environment. Power is experienced and one of the fastest growing solar companies in the United States, which provide the best solutions according to your needs. Call today for your free solar consultation. Join us as one of our ambassadors and earn $1,000. Earn $1,000 when the installation is completed. Free sign up at www.power.com/marie.waite/ambassador. Feel good about what powers your life. Marie Waite, your solar consultant. 951-378-5316. Enjoy your life with solar.com.
Are you a real estate investor looking for a new opportunity in one of the top tourist destinations in the world? Look no further. Welcome to Punta Cana. Perla Bahia is a private resort-style community in Punta Cana that consists of modern condos, custom villas, and various commercial amenities. So if you're interested in learning more or joining us on one of our monthly investment tours, don't hesitate to contact me today at 909-494-2280.
Welcome back here at the International Wealth Builders Association radio talk show, and I am your host, Marie Antoinette Waite. I am the founder and CEO of Finest Women in Real Estate and also Fire Up Connect, and I hope that you check it out, fireupconnect.com. We meet every week, and we try to collaborate with all types of businesses. Today, again, we had Patrick Capel, who is an amazing real estate broker in San Diego, and he already shared so much information that I can't wait to hear more from him. So, Patrick, you were talking about all the upcoming developments in San Diego, and are there more that you wanted to share aside from what you just shared in our last segment?
I always kind of sum it up by this. A phrase that I've been saying for years now is San Diego today is San Francisco circa 1990s. And what I mean by that is San Francisco really blew up in the 1990s and early 2000s because the silicon chip. And the powers to be decided the silicon chip was going to be created and the tech center was going to be in San Francisco. And I got the name Silicon Valley just from that silicon chip growing there. And you didn't need to be a founder of a tech company or an employee of a tech company to make millions of dollars in Silicon Valley. All you had to be is an average Joe that just bought real estate in Silicon Valley in the 1990s. We just helped a client sell a property in Silicon Valley. They bought it for around $800,000. They sold it years later for $5 million. I mean, that individual made over $4 million, not even working in tech, just owning real estate in Silicon Valley. Now, it's not the 1990s anymore. You can't go back and do that, but you can do it today in San Diego because San Diego's biotech growth. And biotech today is what the silicon chip was in the 90s. Biotech is really our next innovation. It's our biggest growth sector in the United States amongst tech. And biotech is centered here in the San Diego hub. So that's why I'm not in biotech, but I follow the biotech market because I know it's going to have a direct reflection and correlation to what happens to real estate prices in our backyard.
Let me ask you this question. Where are the investors coming from? Are they local or are they coming international also for you?
Both, yes and yes. So there's a lot of local investors in San Diego. We also have a huge flood of people moving into San Diego from around the United States. A lot of folks from Los Angeles and San Francisco are moving here because we're so much cheaper than those two areas. Yet we have a lot of people from the Midwest and the East Coast moving into San Diego. You hear what I would call a lie quite often, and that lie is that everyone's leaving California, everyone's leaving San Diego. That's not true. People who can't afford San Diego and people who can't afford California are moving out. But people who can afford it, all these highly paid, highly compensated tech folks are moving into San Diego and into California. So a lot of people move to Texas from California, but more people move from Texas to California than any other state. So we're gaining a lot of Texans, we're gaining a lot of Midwest, we're gaining a lot of people from the East Coast. And yes, as you alluded to, international investors, they've always liked the big cities. They always like the coastal cities. So along with California, they typically like cities in Florida, New York, and those high value cities that also have high growth.
Okay. And how do you feel about some of the changes in the city ordinances, the regulations in regards to owning real estate properties? Because I've heard some negative stories that, it's getting tighter. It's harder for you to own real estate investment properties because of the way they're running the city.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me too much. I believe more in economics than politics. So I always believe you should let supply and demand determine what pricing should be, not a political decision. That said, a lot of the well-intended political decisions that politicians make, such as rent control, that actually hurts, especially those at the bottom end of the socioeconomic run, because it de-incentivizes folks to develop. I'll give you another example. At lunch today, I was sitting with a bunch of investors, and they would say, yeah, when I used to have, a nice tenant that never raised the rent, or a good tenant, or just raise it minimally. But now investors are raising rent as much as possible. Why is that? Because of rent control, and they don't want to get behind on their rent raises because the government will now control how much you can raise it per year. So unfortunately, my concern is a lot of politicians do not have economic backgrounds. A lot of them do not have financial backgrounds. And a lot of their goal is usually to keep their job. So they will make decisions based on what their constituents want rather than what's best for their constituents. And most constituents don't have degrees in economics, and they don't understand, unfortunately, and they just look at what's happening today, what's happening tomorrow, rather than what's going to happen in the next 10 years.
Wow. I'm thinking that they should be listening to this radio show.
Well, like,
so
I mean, I wish I
can,
sat on the Federal Reserve Board, because the Fed has raised interest rates, and I think they should. We need to squash inflation. But the reason mortgage rates have gone up so much isn't just because they raised interest rates. It's also because they stopped buying mortgage-backed securities. And because of that, there's less buyers of mortgages, less demand, which means the price, what we got to pay for a mortgage now has gone way up as a consumer. Because they stopped buying mortgage-backed securities, developers have stopped building, and sellers, homeowners will not sell because they might not love their house, but they love their mortgage. If the Fed were to raise rates but keep on buying mortgage-backed securities, that would keep interest rates lower. Not low, but lower for mortgages, and that would help us build more homes and loosen up inventory. But I think our housing crisis is going to become worse because of the bump we've seen in interest rates, which in the long term is going to make homes more valuable. This short-term rise in interest rates, believe it or not, is going to make homes more valuable because we're just not adding supply now.
You have any interest in getting into politics? Maybe you can help us out there.
I think honestly, maybe someday, but all the mudslinging and all the name calling and whatnot, like I said, number one rule in life, be a nice person. And I just think there's people that are not nice, to put it bluntly, in politics.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get into it someday. I'd be one of those nice politicians, I would hope, and just bring some level of economics to it. Because here's the weird thing. I'm not going to tell you how I vote, but when I say, hey, rent control is a well-intended law, I get it. I know why they want rent control. Marie, when I was a kid, we lost our house. Like, we moved in with my grandparents. I know what housing insecurity feels like.
Yeah.
I started at the bottom. I know what it's like to be there. But I think we need to help everyone at the bottom by making regulations that don't make them feel good today, but rather make them be in a good position tomorrow. And rent control does not create the housing that people need.
Whew, that is a lot of good information, Patrick.
Yeah, I went on a tangent there with politics almost.
Man. Well, this show is about international wealth builders, and I'm hoping that with the information you gave us, it's going to trigger a lot of good, ideas for people to really start looking into their, to their wealth, how they can really build their wealth, and having the right resources, having you accessing you with your economic information. I mean, how would you be able to advise someone that is just starting out, and what will be the best process for them to take on a real estate, investment, or any kind of buying homes?
Yeah, like I just did a meeting last night with someone. So usually what happens is a client's like, hey, Patrick, your team knows what they're doing. You're smart. Can you help me buy real estate, get in this investment game? Even if it's just buying their first home or a condo or buying a multifamily. And usually they'll reach out to me by email, phone. I'm easy to find, Patrick Capel. Just put my name in Google. And we set up a meeting. We do a meeting like this, Zoom, one-on-one. Sometimes I'll have a team member who's going to assist in the Zoom meeting with us. And it's a 1 to 2 hour meeting to kind of learn about that person, what their goals are, and how we can help them get there. They don't pay us. We work in brokerage. So if someone doesn't buy or sell something, we don't get paid. We get paid based on commission at the close of a transaction. So we give away a lot of free advice. And typically, though, by the end of that 1 or 2 hour meeting, somebody says, yeah, I want you guys to be my realtor for life. And we help that person become wealthy. And I look at that as not a transactional relationship, but a lifetime relationship. My goal is not to help someone buy a house and then walk away. My goal is to help them buy a property and then a year or two later buy another, a year or two later buy another, give them advice on, hey, you should do this cash out refi or that tax deduction. We just give them a whole well-rounded advice. We're not your CPA, we're not your financial advisor, but we're your realtor that gives you a little bit of guidance on both sides there.
Okay. So, what would be the lowest down payment that you can have even to start with?
Zero.
Zero?
So, yeah, if you're a military vet like me, you can use a VA loan and do 0% down. But now here's a cool thing. Even if you're not a military vet, we can get you 0% down. How is that? California has a $90 billion surplus. $90 billion surplus. They have dedicated $1 billion per year for the next 10 years to go to home buyers. So my team is running it like a champion right now on these grant programs, and we're helping home buyers get their down payment covered by the state of California. So we just helped this young girl buy her first condo, and we got California to write her a check for 10% of the purchase price, and that covered her 10% down payment.
Wow, that is incredible. But they do need to have a stable job in order
Gotta
to
have a job. Yeah, got it.
Okay.
People always ask me, hey, what's the best way to get in real estate investment? And they'll say, should I door knock? Should I cold call? Should I do all these like crazy things? I'll say, no, just get a job. Get a W-2 job, show some income, now you can get a loan. Because the number one thing you need access to is money. And the best money you can get is not some creative financing or some hard money loan. The best and the cheapest money you can get is just a traditional 30-year loan from a lender. It's the best money you get.
Okay.
And you need a
a
job.
lot of people are kind of sitting at home, and I think, we need to start getting people to start, looking for jobs and, be able to afford and have their own real estate property. Okay, so we're going to take our last break, Patrick, and I would like to get more overall perspective from you on our next segment. So,
Yep.
Okay, this is the International Wealth Builders Association radio talk show. I am your host, Marie Antoinette Waite. Stay with us, and we have one more segment with Patrick, and we'll see you then.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Choose power today and help us create a cleaner planet. Over the past years, utility prices have rapidly increased. Power provides home energy solutions that would save money. Power is the world's first virtual solar company that aims to adopt sustainable energy worldwide. Our company delivers low-cost, clean, and reliable energy solutions. The solar investment allows you to become eligible for an income tax credit. The solar investment is a great way to provide long-term value. Power is the first solar company that reduces carbon footprint for a cleaner environment. Power is experienced and one of the fastest growing solar companies in the United States, which provide the best solutions according to your needs. Call today for your free solar consultation. Join us as one of our ambassadors and earn $1,000. Earn $1,000 when the installation is completed. Free sign up at www.power.com/marie.waite/ambassador. Feel good about what powers your life. Marie Waite, your solar consultant. 95137855316. Enjoy your life with solar.com.
Are you a real estate investor looking for a new opportunity in one of the top tourist destinations in the world? Look no further. Welcome to Punta Cana. Perla Bahia is a private resort-style community in Punta Cana that consists of modern condos, custom villas, and various commercial amenities. So if you're interested in learning more or joining us on one of our monthly investment tours, don't hesitate to contact me today at 909-494-2280.
Welcome back here at the International Wealth Builders Radio Show, and I am with Patrick Capel, who's a real estate broker in San Diego. So, Patrick, please let us know what would be the last thing you would like to share to our audience and listeners.
Yeah. So a lot of folks right now are wondering what's going on and what's going to happen in the next year or two. And I can give you almost a blueprint of what is likely to happen based on the history of economics and what's happening right now economically. So we already discussed we're not building enough homes. We already discussed that because interest rates went up so much, home builders are all but done building, and that we have a huge housing deficit in this country and certainly in San Diego. So what is going to happen even with these high interest rates? I'll start out by saying now is one of the best times to buy. And that sounds crazy. Why is now a good time to buy when interest rates are so high? And here's the answer. First of all, interest rates are temporary. Whoever buys a house right now, you're going to refinance into a lower interest rate at some point in the future when interest rates go down. If you buy now, the plus is you don't have much competition because a lot of people are sitting on the fence. They're afraid, you name it. And as Warren Buffett said, when everyone is fearful, be greedy. And when everyone is greedy, be fearful. Everyone is fearful right now. If you want to be a Warren Buffett, be greedy, get out there and buy because you have almost no competition. You get whatever deal you want for whatever price you want for the most part. And yes, you will get a higher interest rate, but you will refi that interest rate. When will you do it? You'll refi that interest rate once we hit a recession. We'll probably hit a recession within the next year or two at the most. 100% of the time we hit recessions, home interest rates go down. And about 60% of the time, 60 to 80% of the time we hit recessions, home prices go up. Why is that? Because interest rates went down. Interest rates go down, home prices go up, and you're going to see buyers flood back into the market when we hit a recession. And you might think, well, that's crazy. Why would buyers flood back into the market when we hit a recession? It's because of this. If you buy in a market that has a high barrier to entry, let's call it an expensive market like San Diego, the majority of people, not all, but the majority of people that can buy real estate are college educated. During recessions, most college educated people don't get laid off. If you look at a chart that shows who gets laid off demographically based on educations during recessions, high school educated people, lots get laid off. Less than 4-year degree, lots get laid off. 4-year degree, graduate degrees, they don't get laid off. And in cities like San Diego, most of your homeowners, college degrees, don't get laid off. They're going to flood back into that market to buy some real estate when interest rates go down, which means it's going to get very competitive and you will see home prices skyrocket up again like we did in 2020 and 2021 because we're now building even less supply. When interest rates go down, you'll just pay a higher price. That is why now is the time to buy while everyone's fearful. That's my prediction in the next 2 years.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Oh, gosh. I'm hoping that you're going to get a lot of calls. So how do they get a hold of you, Patrick?
So best way to get a hold of me is email. And my email is patrick.capel@compass.com. Compass.com. You spell that PATRICK period KAPPEL @compass.com. And if you didn't catch that, just put my name in Google and you'll see like a million links and articles and videos about me. Patrick Capel, KAPPEL. Type it in Google. You'll be able to get a hold of me and you'll be able to read a bunch of articles and learn about who I am and probably watch a bunch of videos and webinars about real estate. And then my phone number is 858-699-68 8817. And if you call and I'm in a meeting, leave a message and I'll call you back.
Okay.
But that's 858-699-6817.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Patrick. And we will make sure that this interview is going to be available for them to access it in Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android. And we have like 15 streaming channels that is going to also go out after we broadcast this. So anyway, well, thank you so much, Patrick. By the way, I did meet your sister at the KCAA.
Yep. She's a hard worker.
Yes, and she said, I said to him, "Wow, Patrick is so smart and everything." And she said, "Well, where do you think he got?"
Yeah, she is my older sister too. Yeah.
So anyway, well, I am very thankful for your time, Patrick. I think this is amazing that you were able to join me here at the International Wealth Builders Association. I would love to bring you back in again sometime in the future. It would, if you're available. I think that would be awesome. All right.
Sounds good, Marie. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. So, okay, this is it. You guys receive a lot of great information from Patrick here at the International Wealth Builders Association. Please make sure that you connect with him, and you can also call me at 951-378-5316. And again, that's 951-378-5316 if you have any questions about the radio show, or even just making sure that you get more information about Patrick. You know, again, I've known him for years now, and I am so impressed with his credentials, his record. He's an amazing real estate broker in San Diego. You definitely wanted to make sure that you connect if you wanted to invest in that market. This is Marie Antoinette Waite. We are here every Saturday at noon. We have other hosts. Make sure you tune in to KCAA Radio and support our show. We will be bringing you a lot more experts and a lot more information that you can that can help decide on your real estate decisions. Okay, well, anyway, thank you so much, Patrick. And for you out there, have an amazing weekend, and we will see you next time.
This segment sponsored by the Redlands Elks Lodge number 583 and their first annual Elks Veterans Car Show taking place this Saturday, October 15th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Elks Lodge in Redlands, 663 New York Street, just around the corner from the Ayers Hotel in Redlands. Come see a wide variety of classic cars of all makes and models, great music from AA the DJ. There will be a full bar available along with some delicious food, vendors, and a whole lot of fun. All to benefit the service of our great veterans and the benevolent Order of the Elks number 583 in Redlands, this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Redlands.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 a.m., the station that leaves no listener behind.
This is Gary Garver, and my show is moving. Check out the Controlled Chaos mornings at 9 a.m. right here on KCAA.
Join me, Stephanie Miller, every weekday for the antidote to cantankerous conservatives. And if they don't like it, too bad. It's on KCAA.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 8.
1050 a.m. and 106.5 FM.
You've heard AM, you've heard FM. Now, tune into DM Radio, the world's longest running show about data.